Hi, welcome to Cluesy Clinic, and thank you for joining into my frequency today. So it's IBS Awareness Month. So what does IBS stand for? Irritable Bowel Syndrome. Now, I can guarantee you that you know someone, if you haven't got IBS yourself, I can guarantee you know someone in your close-knit circle of friends that has irritable bowel syndrome. It's very, very common. It's very, very annoying. And it's often left untreated, A, because people don't go to the doctor about it, and B, there's really nothing they will do for you except give you medication to stop your diarrhea when you've got it and make you poo when you can't. So that's what the definition of irritable bowel is. It's you're pooing 1 minute and you're constipated the next. It often alternates. It's just an irritableness within the bowel lining, and it has many, many symptoms. But the interesting fact that you may not know, that in 80% of people that go under hypnosis for irritable bowel actually has their symptoms and their irritable bowel vanishes. So what does that tell you? There's a huge link between what goes on in here and what goes on in here. So one of those links is the vagus nerve. Now, we have talked about the vagus nerve before. As you know, it's one of the cranial nerves, comes directly out each side of the brain, all the way down to your bowel and then your ovaries or your testicles, depending if you're a woman or a man. It is the rest and digest part of your automatic nervous system. It needs to be functioning well. And for it to be functioning well, we need to get out of that fight and flight response. So if you do want to get better with the irritable bowel, you can simply just go and get hypnosis. I know a couple of really good practitioners, so if you want to go down that line, shoot me a text and I will get back to you on that. But also your diet's got a lot to do with it. So really high processed carbs and processed foods in general will affect your gut. Our gut is not designed to break down chemical-laden, highly processed food. It likes whole foods. It likes fruit on an empty stomach because the fruit is already half digested. That's the tree's thing. It gives you the fruit so it's easy to break down, so then you can deposit the seed and the tree gets to grow another baby. So that's why fruit is easy to digest. It's good for you, but especially on an empty stomach. You want to be eating foods that don't clog you up, and just get to know what sets you off. So if you have bread and it makes you bloat and it makes you constipated, don't have it. Like, it's really simple. We need to really start taking responsibility for our own health. So if you know that something upsets you, don't do it. So I know that sugar upsets me, so I just don't eat it. I know that soft drink upsets me, so I don't drink it. I know, like, highly processed foods don't sit right with me because I don't eat them normally. So if I do eat them, it sets my gut off. But I do know that trauma has a lot to do with irritable bowel syndrome as well. Glandular fever virus has a lot to do with irritable bowel. Heavy metal toxicity has a lot to do with irritable bowel. So that's why modern medicine will tell you there's no cure. It's because they don't test you for these big viral loads. They don't test you for heavy metal toxicity. They don't support your trauma and your mental health. So you're forced to either suffer in silence or look outside of those avenues. Come and see me in the clinic so I can help you normalize your nervous system, re-regulate that vagus nerve, get the gut working again. And I will help advise you on the foods that you shouldn't eat, because we don't need processed foods. So please cut them out of your diet straight away. Also, as I said, there's hypnosis that you can do. There's colonics to get you cleared out, so that gives the body a bit of a chance to then start to regulate normally. But the big key is, I know that we posted about how does anxiety and irritable bowel go hand in hand. Well, we talked about anxiety and gut health last week. The gut is where you make 90% of your serotonin. So if your gut is irritated, it's not functioning well, you don't make enough serotonin, and that can cause anxiety. So it's not a chemical imbalance in your brain, it's a chemical imbalance in your gut, which is easily rectified through diet, through relaxation, through even meditation, and of course ANF therapy to reboot the system. So please, if you have irritable bowel, you don't need to. It is not normal. It can cause chronic pain in the long run. So please come and see us in the clinic and don't be like, you know, the millions of people around the world that suffer in silence. Just knock it on its head and get your bowel working properly. All right, thanks for listening.